statewide look at politics. I'm Tim Boyle. Time to get a young voter's perspective on the latest political news. My guests this week are Monica Talmadge and Penn Broyhill. Monica is a member of the Young Democrats of North Carolina, and Penn joins us from Greensboro. He's a member of the Federation of Young Professional Republicans. Great to see you both. Thank you so much for joining me. Monica, let's start with you here. We were just talking about this. Where there was a lot of pressure moving up to the election to get young people involved, just like there was in 08, and now everybody's like, whew.
Yes.
So how do you keep them involved, and do you think they will, the young folks?
I think the one thing that we have to do, we absolutely have to do, is we have to start to build coalitions politically. We have to get rid of some of this partisanship in politics. I think people got really, really cold on the idea of that it was this great divide. The country and the state was this great divide, and both sides were hurling stones, across the state. I think we've got to do a better job of bringing each party together, of finding compromises, and starting to put that out to young people. Because if the campaign showed us nothing, they're getting tired of the constant lobbying back and forth.
Hey, did you see that from among the young Republicans as well? They're just tired of the partisanship?
Well, I think that there is some frustration with partisanship, and I think that people will stay plugged in with everything going on with young people, with the debt and all the issues facing them, because the decisions made today is what will be affecting us for years to come. And I think the hope is that people will come together and will start working to find either compromise or get the good ideas and get them flowing to fix the problems that our nation's facing.
So Penn, how do you guys do that as an organization, I guess, to keep people engaged and make them real? Because, we hear a lot about Medicare and things like that. How do you keep them engaged, do you think?
It's just keeping the word out there, bringing up stuff that's pertinent to them. And while Medicare, Medicaid, things like that might not apply to all young people, they need to realize that they're the ones paying for it. The decisions made of how to fund it, how much to have, affect them daily. And I think just properly reaching out and talking to them is the way to get it done.
What do you think, Monica? I mean, is it difficult, and as we head into a non-election year, although it seems like there never is a non-election year anymore, but I mean,
with you, whether you're on the board or on the ship or not.
Penn, let's talk about the fiscal cliff for a minute, because that's just out there so much. For young folks, what do you think their focus is as we head through these hopeful negotiations?
I think their focus is on seeing what is going to happen, because the decisions made today, if it doesn't turn out, will hurt the country going forward. You see talks of tax increases, but there's not been a lot of talks on entitlement reform or cuts on spending, and that's something that we see time and time again, is asking for more money, but where are we going to cut to offset those balances? And I think that that's important to a lot of young people, not only because they care where the money's spent, but also they don't want to see again how we just keep spending and create more problems that put us even further in debt.
Monica, as you talk to folks, what do you hear is the biggest concern?
I think what we're seeing and what we have to really concentrate on is that most young people, when they're coming out of college and they go into, as they grow and mature into that age group, is that most of us are middle class. And we like to, hope that one day we can get to the upper middle class, and we'd like to get to that top tax bracket. We would like to see, I'm pretty sure everybody would like to see a tax cut. I don't know a politician that has ever stood for election.
We've seen, Penn, some Republicans in Congress, Lindsey Graham namely, one of them, talk about that they may be able to break from that Norquist tax pledge. For the young folks, the young Republicans, I mean, is there an optimism or a tendency to agree that there is room for compromise if you give a little on a tax and the Democrats give a little on the entitlements, that there might be a deal that could get done?
I think there are a lot of possibilities to get deals done, but I think a lot of the Republicans are sitting there waiting on the Democrats and the president especially to come forward and say, this is how we reform entitlements, this is what we plan to cut. And at this point, there hadn't been much of that done. There's been talks of putting a tax increase on people, but other than that, there's been no movement forward of how we're going to cut, what we're going to change, and there's no need or there's no reason to increase these taxes on people without a discussion of what we're going to do to help reduce spending on top of that.
Is there optimism, do you think, that something's going to get done that's meaningful?
There's always optimism. There's always hope. There's always the hope that it's going to happen. I think the optimism is still high on both sides, that something meaningful is going to happen, something actually is going to take place, that we're going to come out of this stronger as a country. 14 is constantly in the back of their minds, that you don't have the long before we go through a whole other transition of leadership. So this is a fantastic opportunity for our leadership to show that they're about it. They listened. They saw what happened during the presidential election, and they're ready to move forward.
Well, it's cliche, but it's true. Only time will tell. We're out of time here, but thank you so much to both of you. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Here's a look what's on